If you ask me what I think about when I think of Jimmy, number one is family. If you want Jimmy to smile, just mention his family.
For my family to come from nothing. My grandfather came here with the clothes on his back, and from 1906 to now, my family moved from abject poverty to being well off. Only in America can that happen. My father was a very humble man, but he was extremely determined. He was a serial entrepreneur. He was into things all the time. And I can remember at one point he was in a restaurant. He had a furniture store, he had a jewelry store, he had a livestock auction. Unlike my father's family, my mother's family, they were all farmers, but they've been within 10 miles of where you and I are sitting since 1820. I grew up here in Abbeville. I love it here. Someplace I want to be.
What Jimmy has done for his community is truly amazing. If you have not been to Abbeville lately, you really need to come, and especially at night, if you could work that.
Jimmy loves his family. He loves his hometown. He loves his country. And Jimmy Rane loves Auburn.
Jimmy's probably done more for the university than anybody. Auburn wouldn't be Auburn without Jimmy Rane.
I graduated from high school in '64, and I just fell in love with Auburn. And I said, man, this is where I want to go. And when I graduated and decided that I wanted to go to law school, I was working for a law firm while I was going to school. And so I would go to class, I'd go to work, and then I'd study. And I actually went straight through law school. I didn't do 3 years, I did 2.5, because I went even in the summer to try to get out and start making some money. I was working for that law firm. That was a really prestigious law firm, great lawyers, particularly Billy McDaniel and Jack Hall. They were trial lawyers trying before a jury. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a Birmingham trial lawyer like Billy. But unfortunately, again, fate intervened, and the lady that I was married to, my first marriage, her mother and father were killed in an automobile accident. And she became the executor of the estate, and her father had inherited the farm from his father. He had this little bitty small treating plant and about 30 feet long, and he treated fence posts. And I concocted this idea that I would rent the land for $250 a year and buy the equipment for $10,000, because I had done some research from the people that he was buying the chemicals from and the equipment, and asked them, what can you sell this for? They said, we can sell it for $10,000. So I said, oh, that's great. Sell the equipment. The $250 a year lease will go away. I'll stay in Birmingham. Everything will be great. They couldn't sell it. And they said they couldn't sell it because it was not operational. It was defunct. Well, I had to borrow about $70-something thousand to make it operational. Instead of being able to stay in Birmingham, I had to come home and run this little treatment plant and practice law. So I came home, gave up the job, and opened a one-room law office downtown Abbeville. Had 2 black telephones. This one ring, I'd say Great Southern Wood Preserving. This one ring, I'd say Jimmy Rane Law Office. Now, I came down here, and the plant was just in disarray, defunct, in the weeds. There was one gentleman that lived here that had worked at the plant. His name was Lawson Curry. And I didn't know anything about the plant. I mean, nothing. I didn't know a 2x4 from a 2x12. And I said, Lawson, if you'll just stay here and help me, then, you know, you've got a job for life. And he agreed to do that. He was a really wonderful man. The highest award that any Great Southern employee can win is the Lawson Curry Award. It's named after him. I got this letter from the Harvard Business School in late '83, and it basically said, "Dear Mr. Rane, you're cordially invited to apply for acceptance into the Smaller Company Management Program." Today it's called OPM, Owner President Management Program. So I get to Harvard, and I was sitting there at the desk, crunching the numbers and reading and stuff, and it was just like somebody turned a light on. I get it. I understand now what the problem is. I didn't have enough cash in the business to run it. So I came home from Harvard and changed National Bank in Birmingham. It made me a loan on the spot of $1 million based on my receivables and my inventory. And it was literally like you lit a rocket. The business just took off.
I knew Jimmy had a sense of humor when I saw commercials. I mean, he was a businessman and he was doing it for a business purpose, but he was also poking fun at himself, kind of tongue-in-cheek. So, I figured I'd like the guy.
One of the things that I admire about Jimmy most is that he gives back, to where he sent all these kids to college. I've actually canceled other engagements to support Jimmy because I know he's doing something good. There isn't a word out there good enough to describe him. He's just Jimmy.